Welcome to another episode of Bad Batch Recaps. We are on episode 15, finale, part 1, Return to Camino. It is a great, awesome episode that I really liked, and I'm excited to talk with you guys about it. You see Clem right below me and Robbie right below him. I can't kick out of it now. It's just funny to say.
It's the reverse of the human centipede, basically, is the way I'm picturing this, which it's a human totem pole, I guess, is the way it works.
Yes.
Finale part 1, by the way, as the title that you see when you first join Disney Plus. It's oh fuck, we're doing this as a two-parter, but then it's Return to Camino on the episode, and I'm like, wait a second, were they trying to get the juices flowing with the finale part 1, and then they give you the actual title? So I'll tell you, that got the blood pressure going. I didn't realize we were jumping into the F word this quickly.
Yeah, and it is a finale, but it's not a finale of the series like we thought it was going to be. It's actually just a finale of the season. Previously this week, they announced that it's going to be I guess not renewed, but they said there's going to be a second season of Bad Batch, which I think for us, and I know we had talked about it, it drastically changed what we expected out of these last 2 episodes for sure, because I think we all knew this is going to have to wrap up a whole series in 2 episodes. Let's see how they do it. But now it's not the case. They're going to have to just wrap up this season and set us up for the next one. So very different, I think, vibes for us now going into it, knowing that. I almost wish they didn't tell us, right?
You can see Hunter's going like this. Woo! Vegas now is Hunter's chances of surviving the next episode. They've gone down a bunch. It was the chances of him, if you had Hunter dying, it was minus 1,000. Now I think it's minus 250 or something.
It's one of those score probability of winning, probability of dying. He was 99, 99, 99, 99. And then it's at the last second it went down. It's how did that happen? Well, it got renewed. But yeah, finale. Part 1, it felt like a finale, I thought, this episode. It was big. Shout out to Dave Filoni being Matt Damon, just straight up using the F slur on this one. Finale. And the Bad Batch Season 2 news, like you said, we talked about it in the office. We were the whole season, we were where are they going to leave off Omega? She's such a good character. She's such a vital character almost at this point because she is an unaltered clone, so she's Omega Fett. Where do they leave her off? Now they don't have to leave her off anywhere. They leave her off wherever we pick her up next season. And the other amazing thing about next year, we're going to get Bad Batch Season 2, Andor, Obi-Wan, Mandalorian Season 3. This is basically going to be the year we had for Marvel this year, where we were just overloaded with television shows on Disney Plus. We're going to have next year for Star Wars.
It is. It's absolutely nuts. And what do you call it's almost like the announcement of a season 2 is almost like if you had bet early in the season last year, oh, I think the Bucs are going to win it all. You got great odds on it, whatever. And then Tom Brady tears his ACL and the day before the Super Bowl, Hunter's odds of surviving just fucking shot up right through the roof. It's crazy. That's great.
I thought Ken Jack was talking about the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm damn, we're gonna bring that up already, Suns fan. So I for a loop there. I apologize.
The other Bucks. Yeah, thanks. Just pure pain.
That was for all the below me lines. I had to throw that one out. Guys, can we make a pact here? If we ever, by some crazy chance, end up writing on a TV show together, can we just name the second to last episode of the first season penultimate?
Yes.
This is finale part 1. We're just gonna name penultimate, and it's gonna be everyone's gonna be oh fuck, this is gonna be an awesome episode because it's the penultimate episode.
Agreed. Yes. And speaking of, we can just go right into our penultimate episode. We start out with Hunter in transit to Camino. Wow, that is a dark screenshot. I didn't realize after the fact. We start Hunter's in transit to Camino under Crosshair's watch, and in Crosshair, he activates Hunter's transponder, saying, that he knows the rest of the batch are going to come, regardless of the fact that, if it's trapped. Because, it's very obvious when his transponder goes off, and they all said it to the batch later on, well, it's very clearly a trap. And Hunter's or Crosshair's I know that they know that this is almost what do you call it, dodgeball reference, but I know that they know that we know that it's a trap, but they're going to come anyway because they're going to get you back, Hunter. They don't leave anyone behind, which is an interesting line he says later on. So they land and they meet Rampart, who tells Crosshair hey, just stay on schedule. We have a schedule to keep, which is kind of a precursor for what we're going to see later on. And right after that, I think Crosshair's his TK second in command. He tells Rampart privately, look, I just don't trust Crosshair's motives. And Rampart's look, if the plan fails, they all die anyway. All we lose is clones. It's not a big deal. But Rampart, all-time punchable face moment right here, right with that introduction of Hunter, right?
such a punchable face. The slick back, like I just picture him
Push
having like
back.
that wet hair, yeah, like that gelled up hair, like everything about him is just hateable. I hate Rampart, and I hope they keep him around because he is so hateable. And man, if you casted like an older actor as him to play him in a live action show and made him that hateable, it'd be amazing.
Even the glance back there in this screenshot, he's not even looking his fucking guy in the eyes. Like, give me a fucking look in the eyes, man. I know I'm just some fucking lowly stormtrooper, but come on, man. Give me the full fucking staring face. He's a guy, you always hear those stories about it's like you're not allowed to look them directly in the face, like a celebrity story will go viral.
Kylo Ren, apparently.
Yeah.
He just got rumors about him this week. Adam Driver on his new set. I saw it on like an Instagram account.
No,
they said it's just rumors right now, so who knows? But he apparently might have had a rule where you couldn't look him in the eyes.
Oh God, my fucking. This is our goal. We are going to get an interview with Adam Driver at some point, and I'm going to just stare a fucking hole through his soul.
He seems like a generally uncomfortable person, so I believe
I intimidated Kylo Ren out of the room.
Exactly. Who would be good to play Rampart in live action is the guy who played the evil politician in the Watchmen series in HBO. I think his name's like James Wolk. That guy has the perfect look to play this motherfucker Rampart right here. So keep that in mind, casting directors. I just thought of that for you. That's a freebie. Next one's going to cost you. So right after that, the batch go, and like we were saying before, they don't care it's a trap. They're gonna go get their guy. They land on Camino onto a secret platform that Omega tells them about. It's like the secret entrance that can lead them into Topoka City. There's like the secret tunnel connecting to Nala Se's research lab. And they ask her like how do you know about this? And she's like kind of cagey about it, and you can tell she's a little bit off put by like just the what's she's about to show them. In the meantime, Hunter tries to turn Crosshair back to the good side to just no avail whatsoever. And Crosshair seems a little peeved off of the fact that he was like in his mind left behind, right? Because despite the fact that I tried to kill them, because to him he was the one in the right and they're the one that abandoned him. So like it's all a matter of insert Anakin and Mustafar scene. From my point of view, the Jedi are evil. Literally that. Like from his point of view, he's the one that was abandoned and attacked, so to speak. So just a different point of view for them. And this is cool because I think we've been talking about the whole series, how much we just want more Crosshair. And this is a great Crosshair episode. And I think it starts off right here, especially in this moment where you see, I think, a different side of him as far as like more personality beyond just his only goals to get the batch. Now you see like his motives are more not agreeable, but like they're more understandable and you can sympathize with him more, right?
Bob, this happens to me basically every time we recap a show, a movie. Like I'm falling in love with the villain, and I'm like, I kind of dig. I understand where Crosshair's coming from now, like. And I've always loved the whole what is it? Good soldiers follow orders.
Orders, yeah.
I've always loved that as kind of a saying, and it's like there's always these like gray parts of a character. It's not just black or white, and I love it. Also, Omega. MVP vote for finding the city. I mean, what a fucking stud. And then the tube system was so fucking cool. And have you guys ever seen that before? Is that a thing you've seen in Camino? Do you know of this tube system? Or that's new. I thought that was awesome. I thought that was very cool.
And they kind of like made almost like a meta reference to it in the show too. They were like, I've never seen this before. And it's like, where did you learn about it? Like all of that? I was thinking like, oh, that's us being like, we've never seen this before. We didn't know that was in Camino. But yeah, as someone that really, really wanted more Crosshair, awesome episode. Like I loved all the Crosshair we got in this episode. The full stuff that we got to later, like this stuff, all of that.
The tube system is so cool. I think that would be just an awesome ride or whatever you want to call it. Because like whenever you're in the aquarium and you're in the part where like they have the whole wall and you see the glass and you can see like all the fish swimming around, shit. That's so cool. Being in one of those tube systems on a ride. Oh my God, sign me up, dude. I would love that.
Imagine you could see like the big fish from the Phantom Menace.
Yeah. Well, there's always a bigger one. Don't forget around the corner.
Shudder. I just had a shudder down my spine thinking about that. That exact thing about the bigger fish. That I remember was the first moment. I'm like, oh wait, this movie might suck. Like that was the first moment I realized that movie, let alone the prequels, might suck.
Oh God, I did like in the Phantom Menace, the one fish with the long ass snout. I thought that was a scary ass fish. That was a good one. Good creature design there. In the meantime, there you get into the Bad Batch gets into Nala Se's research facility, where Omega kind of I would say reveals to them how their mutations were essentially enhanced to make them what they are. And I think this is important because their understanding, the batches anyway, is that like they were just kind of born this way, and like that's just they were always thought they were just like this more or less. But you could see here that their mutations and abilities they wouldn't really happen organically. They were more planned out and a little bit more enhanced inorganically by the whole crew there than they had originally thought. So that's like an interesting little note there. The batch tracks down the transponder to the training room where Crosshair ambushes them by being like 5 steps ahead of their thought process, which is kind of funny because like they're saying like, oh, Crosshair's going to expect us to come out the front entrance. We're going to come through the little landing pad. They come through the landing pad. He's just sitting there waiting. That was great. I love that.
This looks like a Halo map, like a straight up. I forget the name of it, but it's in Halo 1, and we used to play it all the time in the game time room. It looks exactly like that map. Someone will probably write it in.
Yeah.
I have a question. How old is Omega? Because if she remembers seeing the Bad Batch, and how old is the Bad Batch? That kind of like broke my brain trying to figure out.
Okay. Yeah, so we're going to get to that, I think, a little bit later. That is an interesting point because it just depends on how you take what she said in that moment, but we will get to that. Right. So they, again, Crosshair ambushes them, relieves them of all of their weapons. Crosshair kind of tells Hunter, look, I was always loyal to you. You weren't loyal to me because, again, in his eyes, they were the ones that went away from him. And he tries to turn Hunter in the very classic Empire fashion, like literally join the dark side, except just join the Empire. And Hunter's just skeptical, saying, like, why should I trust you? Crosshair does the reflector trick, which is awesome. We saw him do that, I think, in episode 1 of the whole series. He kills all of his TK troopers in the room because they refuse to follow his orders, including the dickhead flamethrower trooper, which you can see over here. Fuck that guy or girl, I forget what it was, but like that person sucked. They burned all those like random refugees alive. Like all they did was get fucked up, and I hated that trooper. So thank God they're gone. But yeah, this is a very cool moment. Kills them all, and then Hunter declines to join the Empire. And there's a really great line here where Crosshair tells Hunter, like, look, don't make the same mistake twice. Don't become my enemy. Another great Star Wars line reference right there. And he goes like, Crosshair, you never were our enemy. And I think that was an awesome line. One of my favorite in this entire series.
It was a great exchange, and you felt like the finale weight of the whole episode in this scene. I felt like the whole return to Camino was cool, but when you get the actual back and forth between Crosshair and Hunter, they're doing the turn to the dark side, turn to the Empire thing. Like this was finale shit.
That was so fucking cool when he did that laser thing again. It was, and when I saw, like you said, when you saw the flamethrower, I'm like, oh, that asshole's here, really? And the fact that he kills him too, I was like, I don't want to say I'm a Crosshair guy, but you guys, I already put it on the record how much I love snipers in like, films or shows and all that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of falling in love with, I hope my best case scenario for Crosshair, I don't think he could ever go back to the batch, no matter how bad they think they are. I just hope he goes rogue and is kind of like, plays both sides the rest of the way. I think it's best case scenario for us.
Mm-hmm. So after he killed all these troopers, I think he kind of would have to too, because he's essentially is a rogue now. He's not going to be able to go back to the Empire.
That's true.
Unless they know about it. So Hunter tries to convince Crosshair one more time, like, look, this is all due to your inhibitor chip. The only reason you're acting this way is because this chip in your brain. And this was an awesome moment where Crosshair tells him, like, look, I had my chip removed. All these actions are my own. This is me. Shout out to Hugh Jackman. This is me. Fucking screaming from the rooftops with the circus clowns, P.T. Barnum style. So they have this little standoff where Hunter stuns him and the batch runs off with him in tow because like, they weren't going to leave him here to die. Yeah, they're obviously going to bring Crosshair with them. And Hunter also checks Crosshair's head to confirm where this scar is. Oh, I kind of backed up out of order here. But yeah, so they have a little fight here. I forgot with the, what do you call it? I think they were technically prototypes of the dark troopers that we had seen in Mandalorian, right? They kind of look like them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they
maybe mixed with like the super battle droids. They kind of have that same physique build. I don't know.
Yeah, they have that little fight in with these droids that they had fought obviously earlier, I believe in episode 1 as well. So they take all of them down. Omega had sent them up in order to try and help get rid of all the other TK troopers there. But after the fact, like basically Rampart finds out that all the troopers there are dead. He's like, yeah, fuck these guys. And he sends in all the ships to just blow up Topoka City, just destroy everything there. But in the meantime, Hunter again tried to convince Crosshair. Crosshair said no. And he looks and he sees after they stunned him, again, sorry, went out of order there, but he finds out that the scar was there. It was just hidden up by the burn thing there. So he kind of confirms what Crosshair had told him earlier. So as they run out of the whole thing with, again, Crosshair's right over Wrecker's back, they run out. They have this really cool montage of all of Camino, which is really, really interesting, I thought, because they show like everything empty, because these facilities are always so full. There's like millions and millions of people here, like millions of clones, all these Kaminoans, like all of these people here at all times. And now you see it all empty. It reminded me a little bit of, for those of you who've seen the movie before, Thin Red Line, which is really cool. Great soundtrack moment during this as well. And they start the bombardment. I got a video for this too. And the whole series kind of ends as like the city's being destroyed and knocked down. It was really, really, I would say, impactful. But just backing up a little bit, I think one of the cooler moments was finding out that Crosshair didn't have a chip. I thought that was really, really an interesting plot, like or moment thrown in here.
Great twist.
Yeah. Great twist. And to be honest, I still wasn't 100% sure. I'm like, I think that means the chip was taken out, but I don't know if there's some sort of other Bad Batch stuff from beforehand that I didn't realize. So I was waiting for you guys to confirm that for me. So thank you, Ken Jack, for really, like, you were really the guy who kind of hammered it home for me. I also thought you were going to say Camino, like with everyone gone. It was like the first time when I saw the Apple Store at Grand Central during the pandemic and no one was there.
That's what I thought of. I thought of the pandemic videos right away. Yeah.
Yeah.
And did you guys also I got Endgame vibes when Thanos just lights up the Avengers HQ. That was what I felt when he just like. It's also like when you're playing a Star Wars game and you're out of like proton torpedoes or bombs, and you just have to keep hitting the laser to blow up whatever the ship is. Like that's what it felt like there.
Yeah, very cool moment too. I think the animation here was really sick as the whole planet's getting blown up. I'll play it back one more time. It's very cool. But I think the animation of like everything being dark and rainy, like Camino just is, and all of the floating platforms just getting destroyed and knocked over. I thought that was really cool, really dramatic. Again, the musical cues here, I think, were definitely really elevated for the moment, and they're awesome. I really, really enjoyed them. But as far as just general reaction for me, I really, really enjoyed a lot about this episode, mostly because I do think that the destruction of these cloning facilities are the very much like you're still holding on, let go, Kylo Ren moment, right? Where it's like this is now like the Republic is gone. Like this is like one of the big like benchmark moments of transition into the Empires, like them moving completely away from now cloning, and now they're going into full Empire mode. I thought that was really cool, and I thought that it was just funny seeing Hunter continuously try to stop Crosshair from being evil. It's like trying to make a dog not eat chocolate right in front of it. It's just like it's just not gonna happen. This guy's just a bad guy. It's just who he is. But great episode. I can't wait for the next one. But what did you guys think of this episode, just as far as the general reaction?
You said like Hunter's trying to stop him, not kill him or even wound him really, but kind of just getting him go. And what did we get? Tell me you guys laughed when he rolled out the stun gun and he stunned him at the end.
I thought of you immediately.
I'm gonna save that one for next week after the finale. But let me just say, I'll let Robbie go because I don't want to spoil.
I loved this episode. I thought the ending was great. Like where they ended it, I wanted more immediately. So like I'm looking forward to next week already. And just seeing this destroyed, like did we even know that the facilities on Camino were destroyed? I feel like I sort of wanted to go back there and like future properties, but now it's gone. I mean, I guess we could. There was that concept art of Kira, the Jedi Knight, like that was supposed to be Rey and Force Awakens swimming through the Emperor's throne, where that was like originally going to be sunk in episode 7 or whatever. So maybe that in the future we could have someone swimming through like the old cloning facility.
Yeah.
And Ken Jack, you said it too, man. Like we were really hoping for the Battle of Camino. It's not going to happen unless it's the Battle of the Rubble of Camino. But it's just such a cool ass planet, and I would have liked to have seen it with like basically the citizens there. It's almost like I just always go back to fucking Thanos era Avengers, but I want to see what happened on Xandar. I want to see like the chaos and destruction and with people around. It's kind of sick as I say it out loud, so I'm sorry, but I would kind of like to see it. I'll be honest.
Hey, they're all fake, right? They're fake alien characters. It's totally fine. But no, I agree. And it's weird. The Battle of Camino thing was something I wouldn't say looking forward to, because I was like, I knew there's a slim chance it was going to happen. But like when it didn't happen, it didn't even register to me that like it hadn't happened. Like it didn't until I was writing out the recap for this. I wasn't like, oh yeah, the Battle of Camino didn't happen. So I wasn't like disappointed at all.
Yeah,
really love this, and I do think that the destruction of Topoka City is just it's so crazy, because I don't think we've seen something like this happen before in Star Wars, as far as like they blow up shit all the time. They blow up Alderaan, they blow up Jeddah, they blow up Scarif, like all these Republic planets and cities and all this shit. But like Topoka City and Camino in general, like they're a very well documented and storied place that we have a big attachment to, especially those of us who have watched Clone Wars before. Like me and Robbie, like we've seen Camino like 1,000 times now at this point, beyond just Attack of the Clones. And I think seeing a place like this where we're very much attached to, just getting fucking annihilated, is very different for something from Star Wars. So I thought that was really cool. That was really well done, I thought.
You guys basically
I can't
watched.
think of another time, where we actually knew the place that got destroyed.
You guys basically watched your buddy's childhood house just get fucking bulldozed.
Yeah.
Someone else bought it and
Exactly.
they're like, just started from fresh.
Man.
Literally,
that
though.
place. We had some good times there.
That's like, do you remember all the episodes? There's the episode where like Grievous invades Camino with like those big ass squid monster things. There's like the defective clone. Was it nines or I forget his name. The defective clone. No, the defective clone that like he's like a punching stuff.
Yeah.
The one that like helps him out that he gets shot. Oh, that was a brutal moment. So many fucking cool moments in this, man. And I think also the episode where Fives, he gets his ship out on Camino. Yeah. That was an amazing episode as well. But yeah, great attachment to this place, and seeing it destroyed is just kind of wild. Going on to some Easter eggs in this episode, the theme when they land on Camino, I don't want to watch that destruction one more time. The theme when they land on Camino is the exact theme. You guys can hear it, right?
In a post, we can't hear that.
No, we can't hear it.
Damn, I was playing on my headphones and I'm like, shit, I really hope they can hear it right now. But the theme when Obi-Wan lands on Camino in Attack of the Clones, it's the same theme when Crosshair lands with Hunter on Camino. A lot of musical cues here again that are very eerily similar to stuff that we had seen previously in Star Wars. Oh my God, is there no way to switch to the next frame, Google Slides? So there's probably no correlation here, another Easter egg. But the landing pad reminded me a lot of the raft from Marvel as far as. Do you remember in I believe it was Civil War when they put all of them in prison, like it comes out of the ocean and they all land on, and Tony lands on it with like the helicopter? Reminded me a little bit of that. Might just because it's like a fucking platform coming out of the ocean and that's literally it. But those are so cool to me. I thought those are always awesome.
I couldn't figure out where that was from, Ken Jack. Thank you for, again, scratching my head. This is why I have to just like call you up after every single piece of content I read or like watch, because that and then like the little things like those musical cues, my dumb brain usually doesn't pick up on unless it's like they're bashing over my head with like a John Williams score, you know? Yeah,
I know. Trust me, I hear you. Next up is just some Omega stuff. There is a part in Clem, you mentioned this. There's a part in the lab where Omega says like she was there. And it depends on how you interpret what she said. She could have meant like I was physically in this lab, like I was made in this lab, I was in this tube, but she could also mean that she was there when the batch was literally born and raised. So like it takes, and I went and looked at it, takes about 10 years for regular clones to grow, and it might be different for the batch. I don't know. We could figure Omega's probably around 10, I would imagine. So like that timing maybe not might match up, but also the Bad Batch might grow faster. There's also a possibility. We've been talking forever about how Omega might be like a Force experiment. Maybe she's infused in Grogu type DNA, and maybe she slowed down aging gene. We have no idea. There's so many possibilities there, and I think that we have been thinking of her as like their kid essentially. She might be like their mom, more or less. Like she might have watched them grow. Like we have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, if clones grow fast, which they do. And if the Bad Batch, let's say, grows a little faster and Omega's a little older than we thought she was, maybe she's 12, very well could be, they grew in 8 years and she was 4 when they were born.
Mm-hmm. And kind of like Grogu, right? Where he, it's a different species, obviously, and Yoda could be 1 billion years old. So he might be, we know he's older than he looks, obviously. So I can't ask this question because I don't know Omega's age. So I'm just going to say her AZ is the robot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think AZ saw the Bad Batch naked? Like, as they're just sitting there clones? I feel like there's like, and then that just has a whole new dynamic. When you see someone naked, I feel like you're a little closer. Kind of would make sense why they are such a happy family right off the jump. So
clones might not even have genitals. I have no idea. Like they could just be like Ken dolls. Yeah. There's like almost no need. I feel like that's a very impractical part of human physiology. I feel they probably just got rid of it, scrapped them.
Yeah, because then it's like then they're trying. You're
like
not
Unsullied.
The right head. Yeah, exactly. The Unsullied.
Yeah, you don't want clones trying to fuck. Yeah.
No, not at all.
That we have our title to the blog now. Do clones have dicks?
Yes, there we go. Clones are Unsullied, more or less. Yeah. but yeah, so she might be older than them, and we have no idea. But there was, I remember, like she was so pumped up to meet them in the opening of the series. So like, and she might be like, "Hey, I get to see my kids again." You know, really have no idea. So next up, when Tarkin tells them, "You may fire when ready," very big call back to A New Hope. This motherfucker right here. Wow, that is high definition. This might be from Rogue One, actually.
I was going to say that's got to be Rogue One.
Yeah, that's definitely not for fucking A New Hope. But obviously, very big scene in A New Hope where you may fire when ready before absolutely obliterating Alderaan. There's one part where you see here the TK troopers and their armor looks a little funky. This is pointed out by heavy spoilers. This might be the original Stormtrooper art by Ralph McQuarrie. You can see it there. They look a lot similar. They look pretty damn similar, I would say, to his original concept art.
That third one in is kind of exactly what I feel like these ones look like.
Yeah, and that'll be just kind of a cool little nod to the old, because those are always fascinating to scroll through. The old concept art. Oh, absolutely amazing to watch, or just look at, I guess. Another note: there's no fanfare in the closing credits. That's something we haven't seen since, I would say, the end, or a couple episodes in season 7 of Clone Wars. That's just something to keep in mind. I feel like that's a death crawl thing for somebody. I don't know who it's going to be. But yeah, we can just move on to some questions and theories. I think that, again, knowing that we have a season 2 completely changes my expectations for the show, because we're expecting all these storylines to wrap up neatly with a bow in these final 2 episodes. And now that we know that they don't have to, they can go anywhere we need in season 2. So I don't know, it just changes my expectations for the next episode. Like, is Rex going to get involved with this attack by the Empire now, or the Batch going to take a side basically and be like, we're going to fight with the rebels versus the Empire? I still think Hunter or Crosshair dies, but now the needle is firmly pointing way more at Crosshair, I'd say.
I you know what? I think you're right on that. I was trying to figure out how this was going to change the dynamic of everything. I feel like Crosshair is going to kind of pull the selfless move to help his brothers out at the last minute. I still have a lot of money. I have a whole lot of money riding on Hunter dying right now. And it's one of those things. It's like, I never bet against my teams, but if I did, it's kind of like you're doing the Larry David gif the whole time. But yeah, I'm obviously hoping for, it's going to hurt a little bit, the Crosshair death, but I'd much rather have that than the Hunter death, which is going to rip our souls out, especially like season 2. If they have a season 2, no matter what the batch or what the series looks like, without Hunter, it is a big hole, right?
Yeah. And Hunter's such a recognizable, like, he's got the headband. He's probably selling the toys right now. So it's like, do you want to take him out of the series right now? Or do you want to take someone like Crosshair out of the series who you could put another villain in his role next time? I don't know. I would rather what you said earlier happen, where he kind of goes rogue and he becomes like, I don't know, a bounty hunter off with Cad Bane next season. Like, that would be badass to me if he teams up with someone or something like that. But yeah, I guess all of my expectations for where the series ends are now changed, because the series isn't ending. Like, I don't think she's going to meet Boba Fett by the end. I don't think any of that's happening this season. Maybe next season, but next episode, I think we're just getting a big showdown, and possibly a couple deaths.
Oh man, I just thought of something potentially really sad too. If Hunter does die, Omega wears his headband, and then next season she's wearing the
Hunter. Man, don't do that. Don't put that evil in the world.
I'm in a really dark place right now.
I'm picturing now a 3-way bounty hunter sniper battle between Fennec Shand, because that was an amazing sniper battle she had on. Was that on Tatooine, or was that? I forget what she had meant. Yeah, imagine
with
a 3-way sniper.
Valley's shitty son.
Yes, exactly. A battle between them, Crosshair as a bounty hunter, and Aurora Singh, another great sniper bounty hunter. That would be awesome if he turned bounty. Again, I thought this was an awesome episode. It's one of my favorite of the series. I am very pumped up to see how this wraps up, because we're in the middle of, like, they're literally getting orbitally bombarded by all these fucking Star Destroyers. There's nowhere they can go. They need to get off planet, and I don't know, like, because I don't expect getting off the planet is the entire episode. So, like, I expect, like, they're going to do something else. There's, like, a point B there, but I just don't know what that's going to be. And I'm very excited to see what that's going to be, for sure. But until then, we'll be back next Friday for a recap of the actual finale. This is fun to recap the penultimate, though. I'm Kenjack. You got Clem right below me, Robbie right below him. And we'll be back. Thanks for listening, as always.